Hello, I'm Angela Polson, staff writer for Modern Distribution Management, and today I'm joined by Dr. Jim Tompkins, founder and CEO of supply chain consulting firm Tompkins International. Jim, who holds a Master of Science in Industrial Engineering and a PhD from Purdue University, has been quoted in business and industry magazines including Fortune and Supply and Demand Chain Executive. His most recent video, Amazon and Walmart Facing the Titans, explains the disruptions to buyer expectations caused by these consumer-focused giants and presents the elements required for an effective response. Jim, welcome.
Thank you, Angela. Good to be here.
Jim, why do distributors need to understand what Amazon's doing?
Well, the B2B sector that the distributors participate in is approximately twice as big as the B2C sector, and the B2B sector is growing faster. So the distributor sector is huge, and so the question is extremely important because why should someone worry about Amazon, who's primarily B2C? And the answer to that is because the B2C is where the innovations are coming, and that's where the innovations that are going to impact B2B later are being created today. So by watching what Amazon is doing, as well as some of the really strong leading distributors with their online presence, we can understand where B2B is going. I see today leading distributors are responding to Amazon and increasing their online presence. I'm seeing consumer products companies that are becoming distributors and retailers unto themselves because of Amazon. And Amazon's going to have a major impact on how all retailers, all distributors, and all consumer products companies going forward respond to the marketplace and interact with their customers. So I really think it's important that all of your readers and listeners pay attention to what Amazon's doing because they impact us all.
You've said before that the influence of e-commerce reaches beyond online sales. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, it all has to do with customer expectations, Angela, in that when people interact with an online environment, they rise their expectations. And so their expectations for speed of delivery, their expectations with respect to free delivery, their expectations with respect to a huge selection. And these customer expectations are being set in the mind in the marketplace. And if you keep offering the same expectations or the same service levels to your customers that you always have, what we'll find is that we're falling behind. And so we need to really pay attention to what the e-commerce folks are doing because that's what's going to be expected by our customers.
Tell me about the trends that you discovered as far as the growth of Amazon's fulfillment center square footage and how that affects their supply chain.
Well, their growth is nothing short of phenomenal. Amazon started in 1996, and by today, there's no facility that Amazon had between 1996 and 2002 that's still out there. The facilities they built back in the early days are too small. There are facilities that were built in 2002 that still exist, but if we look at the total square footage that Amazon's dealing with, there's about 13 million square feet that were built between 2002 and 2009 that's still being used. There's about 44 million square feet that was built by Amazon between 2010 and 2012. And then there's 47 million that is either being built or is planned to be built between 2013 and 2016 for a total in the U.S. of 104 million square footage of space. And so what we see, if we look at the percent of the total that was developed each year, we see that between 2002 and 2009, that was about 1.6% of their present capacity was built per year. Between 2010 and 2012, it was 14.2% per year, and between 2013 and 2016, it's 11.25% built per year. So the 2010 to 2012 was the greatest surge of them building new fulfillment centers, but the 2013 to 2016 is when they added the greatest amount of square footage over those 4 years. So a huge, huge, huge impact, 104 million square foot of space. But maybe what's even more important and really kind of drives to the second part of your question with respect to what's the impact on their supply chain, if you look at where they've built their fulfillment centers, between 1997 and 2004, 38% was within 100 miles of major metropolitan statistical areas, and 38% was within 200 miles. If you look at the new space they added between 2005 and 2008, 38% was within 100 miles, but 54% was within 200 miles. So they were getting closer. If you look at 2009 to 2011, 57% of the square footage that they built was within 100 miles, and 86% was within 200 miles. And then if we look at what they build in 12 and 13, 33% is within 100 miles, and 79% is within 200 miles. And so what we see is they're getting closer to the major metropolitan statistical areas, and closer means, number one, less transportation cost, and number two, a quicker delivery. And so it has a huge impact on the supply chain in that they can give the customer faster service for less cost to Amazon. And that's huge from a supply chain point of view.